Hi, I'm Terry. I've lost 175 pounds with keto and carnivore. Thank you for watching. Hello. So Kate had a question. She wanted me to talk about carnivore a little bit, why I went carnivore, why I stopped carnivore. And it's Friday night. I'm actually working on crocheting a doll, little boy doll for somebody. I keep baggies on their shoes so that way as you crochet, they go around and around and around and it scuffs up the shoes. Plus, I have a white dog that sits on my lap half the time, and these are black shoes. Here he is. He lays on my lap, and so I don't want white on the shoes. So it just helps keep some of that white fur off of it. So I'm keeping my pattern over here so I can kind of remember where I'm at. So Kate, you wanted to know about my carnivore days, why I went carnivore, and a little bit about it. So when I first started, I found out that I knew I needed to lose weight. Let me just talk for a minute. I found out I needed to lose weight, obviously. I was 340 pounds, and I was like, okay. So I looked into surgery, and work did not offer surgery. They didn't cover weight loss surgery. So the only other option was to figure out how to do it myself. And I was in a lot of pain, on a lot of medications. Healthy at every size is not accurate. I was not healthy at 340 pounds. So what I did was I hyper focus on things. So in 2017, I was focusing on keto and learning about it and reading about it, watching YouTube about it, going on Facebook about it. And I did it for a while and it worked. I'd lost 45 pounds. And then, I had a bunch of things happen. And so then I got off. And then I went over in 2019 when I went back. I was like, keto works, so I'm going to do it. And so I did 2 months of keto. And like I said, I'm always hyper focused and researching on things. So I got to joining full groups and I got involved in carnivore. I was reading about carnivore. I read about a Facebook group called Zeroing In on Health. And that group, they were very, very strict. People were not even allowed to comment about cheating and having vegetables. They only wanted the topics to be about meat and eating meat, which is fine. I agreed to that. I like that. So I was going along at keto and I was following the Diet Doctor website, which I've told y'all about. So then like I said, in the meantime, I was still in those carnivore forums and I was like, if I didn't have to cook, that's right up my alley. I don't want to have to cook all the time. So that's what made my brain, kind of geared towards carnivore. And so I know, Kate, you said you have a lot of digestion problems and so in going carnivore, what happens and what happened for me is you're eliminating everything from your diet. Anything that may be causing you inflammation, anything that may be causing you heartburn, anything that might be causing you to have skin issues, blood pressure issues, fluid retention. You're taking out all the processed foods and that specific group was super strict. So, you didn't eat hot dogs. You didn't eat Polish sausage. You didn't eat ham and lunch meat. You ate meat. Meat, like you go to the meat department, you buy your meat, you take it home and you cook it, and that's what you ate. They did not talk about any sauces, although I've noticed lately one of the ladies, Kelly Hogan, so some channels for you to look at. Kelly Hogan, her channel is My Zero Carb Life. Very, very good carnivore channel. She's been doing it like 16, 17 years. Who else? There's some outlandish ones, and I say that with love in my heart, but you don't have to sit around and eat a stick of butter. I didn't do that. So anyway, so I went carnivore because it was paring it down, and I got caught up in the thought of not having to cook a bunch of things. I was not being tempted with vegetables. I got caught up in the leptins or whatever it is that vegetables have. I got caught up in all that conversation. And so it was easy. And so the things that I did was I knew that the people who had been doing it a long time were saying that they typically ate 2 pounds of ground beef a day. And so that's what I did. I got a cow, a quarter of a cow, and I got some suet, and I would, fry that up sometimes, add extra fat to it. I would make hamburgers. I would make steaks. The things now, I only did keto 2 months. So I can't say that all my things that I cured are from the keto or carnivore or weight loss. So I can't say that all this was cured from keto or from carnivore. But the things that I experienced as I lost weight was, less heartburn. My eczema went away. My blood pressure lowered. All the things that got better, my overall health was getting better. But as far as what I was eating, I was eating 2 pounds of meat a day, and and then I hit that stall for 8 months, and I was going on the mindset of Kelly Hogan says she eats about 2 pounds of meat a day. That's what I'm going to eat. So I am the type of personality that I'm not going to deviate from it. And so had I thought it was okay, instead of going keto, I could have said, okay, instead of 2 pounds a day, why don't I do 1 3/4 pounds a day? Why don't I do 1.5 pounds a day? But that's just not how my brain works. And so that's why I didn't do it. I switched to keto because I hit a stall for 8 months. I'm not opposed to carnivore. I think carnivore is a great tool. Carnivore got me off the sugar. Carnivore got me off my cravings. I don't crave sugar. I don't crave candy. I don't crave all the things, all the processed foods. I don't crave them because I was eating straight meat. And it, like if I went to, I used to work with a lady, and she made homemade candles, and we'd go to a candle party. Well, she'd have this candle, and you'd smell, and it smelled good, and you'd smell this one, and it smelled good. Then after you got to about the third one, you couldn't tell the difference between them. So she had a little cup of coffee grounds. And in essence, it was cleaning out our senses, cleaning out our sense of smell, and resetting that sense of smell. Well, carnivore was resetting my taste buds. It took me back to it reset my whole body. It was a very, very, very valuable tool, and I have no regrets about it. If somebody ever told me they want to try it, yes, do. I think it has its place in this world of weight loss, and it has its place in the world of keto. For me, like I said, I ate 2 pounds a day of beef, sometimes pork, but beef is really the one thing that satiates me, keeps me full longer, and I just like how I feel when I eat beef. And so I started carnivore for the lazy aspect of not having to come home every night and cook vegetables to go along with my meat. That's why I started carnivore. I stayed for carnivore because I was able to meal prep on the weekends and take my food and eat that every week, and not have to do any manual domestic labor in the evening time when I got home from work. So that's why I stayed with carnivore, and I was losing weight. I think I'd lost 26 pounds with keto, and then lost another 70 something with carnivore over those, over the 2-year time span. And so, it was working. It definitely was working. And then, like I said, I had that 8-month stall. And with that 8-month stall, I stayed faithful. I ate 2 pounds of meat every day. Looking back, like I said, I think had I said, well, maybe I'll do 1 pound and 3/4. Let me shave off an ounce at this meal and an ounce at this meal. That might have been enough to break the stall. But I went to keto. I started watching Kim Howerton. She has gone on Nisha Berry and Dr. Ken Berry's channel a lot. So I was watching her, and she was like, hey, it's not calories in, calories out, but calories do matter. And so at that stage, I started watching her and looking at some of the things she was eating and listening to the things she was saying. And that's when I switched to keto. And since then, I've had fun cooking. I still don't cook every evening. You all see that. I remain meat focused because I do believe 100% that having a meat heavy diet has been good for me. It may not be good for you or you or you or you, but it's good for me. It keeps me full, keeps me satiated, keeps my brain on task. I'm not sitting over there wondering, what am I going to eat next? Where am I going to, what thing am I going to add? Sometimes when I get a little heavy on the vegetables or heavy on the sauces, I do find my brain wandering in that direction. I do find myself thinking, oh yeah, I could use this sauce and that sauce. And I feel some of the old Terry coming back. But carnivore stripped that mindset away from me. Because you're not adding this sauce and that sauce. You're getting the meat and you're getting the seasonings, and that's it. That's all you're getting. And at the time, I was only doing meat and a few seasonings. Definitely not all the seasonings I do now. So that was my experience with carnivore. It cleansed my palate. It cleansed my brain. It cleansed my body. Took away all of the processed foods, all of the foods that were damaging my body, and it just stripped it all away to bare bones. If you've watched Michaela Peterson, that's what she had to do for her arthritis and for her health issues. That's why she went down to just ground beef. I mean, she took it all the way down to ground beef and lamb. And I think she only does a little bit of salt with it. And I think she said she just recently added tea, but she stripped it down to just meat and salt. And so it really depends a lot on your health. It depends on your needs. It depends on your mental health and how your brain works. So for me, taking away all the choices, all the thinking is what I needed for my brain. I just needed to see food on my plate, put it in my mouth, and not think about it. And so for 2 years, that's what I was able to do. So that's how I used carnivore as a tool and how it worked for me. I've thought about, am I ever going to go back? Will I go back to carnivore? I thought about it before, but it's like, well, I'm doing okay right now. I feel like carnivore is a stepping stone for me. Some people, then if they add vegetables back, they can't tolerate them and they stay sick and it doesn't work for them. But for me, I've been having fun, and for me, it's nice knowing that I could go to a restaurant and I can get meat and vegetables, or I could get, if I wanted, I could get a big chef salad. And when I was carnivore, I'm all or nothing. I am all or nothing. And when I'm all in, I'm all in. So when I was carnivore and I was going out to eat, I would freak out if there was lettuce near my food. I could not have, I had big issues mentally if I was like, oh, I just had a piece of broccoli. Oh, I wonder what that's going to do to my body. So I'm like I said, I'm all or nothing. And so being carnivore is difficult when you go out to eat with your friends or family. And so that's why I changed. I was like, okay, well, after listening to Kim Howerton and deciding to start tracking and changing around some things and adding some things, that's why I broke my stall. Now, had I lost all 170 pounds with carnivore, I might still be doing carnivore. I have no idea. But that's just not the way it worked for me. And so, yeah, that's my carnivore story. And that's how I got to carnivore, was because I liked the idea of not having to cook vegetables every evening. But I didn't know about the way I do it now in meal prepping. I didn't think about meal prepping vegetables and stuff for a whole week. And so that's how I discovered, or that's why I went on carnivore, because of trying to strip things down and get rid of all the toxins from the processed foods, and to cleanse my brain and my palate and just get all that inflammation out. So that's my carnivore story and why I switched to keto. And like I said, I'm not opposed, and I definitely have stayed meat heavy. You see that I eat I would say probably 75% of what I eat is the meat. And I do that on purpose because I feel full, I feel satisfied, and it keeps me from wanting all the things that my coworkers are eating, because I know I'm about to go in and I'm about to have some fatty ground beef, and I'm about to be full. Being full is my happy place. And so if I can be full, then I don't want nothing else. So knowing that I can get full from the from the meat and what vegetables I eat, I am happy as a clam. So that's my story, and that's my carnivore story, and that's where I'm at right now. So, okay, that's what I know. Have a good day. Don't forget, we got a lot going on tomorrow. Bye.